Hi there, and welcome to this year's 2020 comic book camp. I'm so glad to have you guys with us. Today I'll be going ahead and introducing myself, and we'll be moving on to the proposal. So yeah, we'll start with the intro. So my name is Jade Gibson, and my profession is private sector teaching, as well as teaching with the rec program in illustration, design, and animation and things like that. Other things I do is I'm a comic artist and writer. I'm an animator. I also do editing and film things. I'm an illustrator and freelance artist, as well as a licensed vendor. Now, what I mean by a licensed vendor is I go around from different states or even within the state of Colorado, and I sell art at conventions. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff I do is more diving into the nerd industry, so to speak. So the whole point of this comic camp is to get you guys into the actual comic book world, get you excited, and hopefully you have a lot of fun. The idea is to show you the structure of how a comic is created and produced at a very small scale. So what we'll be going over, as I stated earlier, is the proposal and what all entails in the proposal. And that is more like the idea, story crafting, concept, how the comic industry works. I'll dive just a little bit into that. So a lot of the comic industry works in like about 3 different ways. So you can go into it, put in your proposal to big publishers such as Dark Horse, Marvel, DC, and they will pay you per page to create their comic. However, there's an alternative one with also big publishers such as Image Publishing, such as example Monstrous. I know you guys know the Marvel and DC, but Monstrous is another one from Image, where they're more into the independent field, where they pay you per sale. So they help push your stuff out there, and then you get X amount of each sale. Or you can do self-publishing, which I have done in the past, as well as kind of started on the works with Image, maybe. But the self-publishing is where you create your thing, go ahead and print it through various different sources that will actually print your stuff, and then you just go around and sell it, and also talk with different comic book salesmen or different companies to see if they will put your work out through with your self-publishing. The industry, that from my experience, expects a lot of professionalism and kind of the know to how to, and the fake confidence, at least I put in. So I kind of want to touch base a little bit with that through some of these videos as well. So for our comic, there is pre-production, production, and post-production. So for pre-production, that is, like I said, the proposal, the script, storyboard, the practice paneling, and the character designs and things like that. So that's the stuff that happens before, and surprisingly, that takes a lot of time. And for you guys' case, since you're only doing 1 cover and 4 pages, so 5 in total, your production work will not take as long as your pre-production work might. So heads up on that one. And then I'll be going through like the layout, how to do the panels within there, and the bubbles, the background, dealing with people and character design, as well as comic understanding. So we're going to dive a little bit into the basics of comic structure, comic world, the touch of history, typography, and things along those lines. We're going to work on not only just character development, character creation, and style, but maybe putting how to put in a little bit of detail that can really bring your pictures to another level. We'll also be talking about, and especially in more the late production phase, line art and hatching, and dealing with the grayscale and the paints that you'll be having with you. But most importantly, I want you guys to enjoy this comic camp. Welcome to the comic book camp. Let's go ahead and do the breakdown of what we will be doing throughout these weeks and what I expect of you. So what you as my young comic artists and writers will have completed by the end of this camp is the proposal, character design, storyboard, script, cover thumbnails, page thumbnails, pages 1 through 4, cover, and as the last little bit, we will do touch-ups on those things. There are some rules in which you must follow for this. With the comic that you will be creating, I want you to keep it PG. What I mean by that is, I think what you very well know what I mean. Not a lot of gore, violence, any conduct that would not be acceptable in school will not be acceptable in my camp and will be cause for restarting. So, since this is the first video, I want to be very clear that this is not a come and go as you please kind of camp. Once you are with me, you are with me. The videos in which I will have out will be placed in sequential order that is important to get from beginning to end of your finished comic book product. So you can't just skip a day and think that's okay. You need to be with me and communicate with me the entire time of this comic camp process. Should you miss too many classes, you're out. I don't have time for that. So once you're with me, you are with me all the camp days. What you need to do before each of my Google Meets. Before my Google Meets, you need to watch the videos before class. We cannot have you not watching the videos before you meet to the Google Meets. Should you not be able to reach the Google Meets, I need you to contact me in some way, whether it be in the YouTube comment section or email, Instagram, whatever the case may be. You need to contact me, because being able to be in contact with you is crucial to the comics that you will be finishing. Deadlines, I am dead serious about. The reason why I'm dead serious about the deadlines is due to the amount of time we have. We have to unpack a lot of things, and while some things may seem very simple, you need to take your time to make it look professional, because by the end of this will be a printed product that is published. You need to have everything due by the times I say it's due, because just like in the professional industry, especially in the comic professional industry, you miss those deadlines, they don't care. You are done. Unless there is dire situations in which you should contact me about. Should anything happen, you need to let me know. But when I say there's a deadline, I expect the deadline. I'm not going to take my time with you. I'm moving on with the class. So I want to be very clear. When I say due at midnight, I will be checking, and I mean it is due at midnight, before midnight preferably, but it will be due at midnight. Should you miss any of the deadlines without communicating with me, you fail the class. What I mean by when you fail the class, this is fail the camp. This is a pass or fail camp. This is something that, because it's so time constrained, we need to have you finished by the end of the camp. Because if your comic is unfinished or missing something, I won't print it. So, and I really want to print every single one of your pieces. I find that so important. So please have everything done, because if it's not done by the end of the camp, which is why I very much suggest those, why I highly state how important the deadlines are, I can't print an unfinished product. No publisher can. So finish those products and finish them within the time frame that I tell you, because you're going to need every bit that I give you. So by the end of this camp, once everything is done, don't throw it away or anything like that. I need you to put it all into the bags in which I've given you guys to return to me so that I can scan it and keep it on hand. So so please have all of the items in which we will be completing during this camp in one pile together for me to collect. most importantly, as much as I did the scary rules thing, I want you guys to have fun. So I think comic book making is one of the coolest things ever, and the fact that you guys want to do it with me makes me stoked. So thank you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see your finished products. The proposal. So with the proposal, I went ahead and did a quick demonstration to see to kind of show you what it'll kind of look like and what I would like it to look like as far as organization goes. We are going to go ahead and start with the title. And the title, it's not just a title of your story, it sets the tone. It hints to maybe some foreshadow. It kind of gives away some of the genre possibly, and style. And the most important thing, at least in the for any novel or written published works, is it markets your story and grabs the attention. So when you're thinking about the title, I want you to think about what exactly your story is going to be about and kind of reflect that. So it's just something to think about. After the title will be the elevator pitch. Some of you might have heard of it, and some of you this is completely new to. So essentially what the elevator pitch is like 1 to 2 sentences. It communicates the most important aspects of a story and saves time. For a little bit of history, the name comes from a notion that speech should be delivered in a short time period of an elevator ride, so about 20 to 60 seconds. So craft your elevator pitch with that in mind. How quickly can you whip out your entire concept? Next, we're going to be focusing on the target audience. So I'll say right now, don't say for everyone. That is very unprofessional because it's not just for everybody. What is the age group you're going for? What is the genre? You can't just say everything genre. It needs to be a little bit more focused in order, like, think of it where the publisher or anything, when they're going to put out your print, where are they going to put your books on the bookshelf? With the age group, is it male or female? This is one where it can be both if you'd like. There's a lot of just more young adult geared towards or older teen and doesn't necessarily go into male or female or things like that. What's the age group? My age group, I accidentally put young adult. I meant older teen. That's going to be the personal example that I have, is older teen for what I'm doing with you. The next point will be about the author. So this is a good kind of practice for you guys to sell yourself and your work. So sound confident. You want the audience to know kind of a touch of who you are. Make it short and sweet, about 1 paragraph or so. Put in a touch of background, so the experience you have or excitement you have within this, and then what is your inspiration for the story? What pushed you to create this? Was it something that you feel passionate about? Was it something that intrigued you? So on and so forth. Next will be the outline, story, and description. So the outline, story, and description is the method of approach, how to take the story from A to B. So you're not just going to spit on the page, you're going to have a story from beginning, middle to end. So the editor needs to know this. So don't say stay tuned or things like that, because this will be more for the audience for stay tuned, but for the actual editor, publisher, things like that, they need to know exactly where your mind is and where the story is going to go in order to appeal to their interest. The character description is talking about the protagonist, allies, story, villain, creatures, so on and so forth. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to write down like who the protagonist is. What I mean by protagonist is who's the main character, who is the story based around. It could be good or bad. The protagonist can be good or bad. We just need to know which character the story is going to be centralized around and which journey we're going to follow. And then for our camp, I would only have about 1 to 3 characters, considering the time frame and size that you guys have for your comics. It's only because you're going to tell a story in only 4 pages. So if you have a bunch of characters, that can muddle out the actual beginning, middle, and end, because we need to also dive into those characters. The characters are also the reflection of the story. So just keep that in mind. And without further ado, I know you guys know the rules, and this will be due midnight tonight. Should you have any problems, feel free to email me. I will have all the links provided below that you will need in order to contact me. So, all right, this is day 1, and you are gonna pull through with it. So I hope to see your stuff, and I can't wait to see you next.